Hi, today you'll get 30 questions. See how well you spot the unexpected. Let's go. Which type of store is most likely to keep milk in the back of the building? Correct answer. A grocery store. What do you usually press to select all text in a document on a computer? Correct answer. Ctrl+A. Which direction do most analog clock hands move? Correct answer. Clockwise. What is the main purpose of a supermarket shopping cart? Correct answer. To carry more items with. Which document is commonly used to prove who you are when you board a domestic flight in the United States? Correct answer. A driver license. Why do many public restrooms use hand dryers or paper towels near the sink? Correct answer. To remove water from hand. What happens when you click a hyperlink in a browser? Correct answer. It takes you to another page. Which metal is used in most modern pennies? Correct answer. Mostly zinc with a thin. Why do school buses stop in front of railroad crossings? Correct answer. To check for trains before. What is the main job of a thermostat in a home? Correct answer. To control temperature setting. Why do many keyboards put letters in a non-alphabetical layout? Correct answer. To reduce typing jams. What is the most common reason traffic lights turn from green to yellow? Correct answer. To warn that the light is about. Why do many coffee cups have a sleeve around them? Correct answer. To insulate your hand from. What is the main purpose of a zipper? Correct answer. To fasten two edges to. Why are some grocery store bananas sold slightly green? Correct answer. They can ripen after purchase. Which is most likely to be true about a password manager? Correct answer. It stores and fills in. What is the usual reason a restaurant gives you a menu with prices listed? Correct answer. To help customers choose it. Why do many city sidewalks have cut lines dividing the concrete into squares? Correct answer. To let sections expand. What does a blue lane on some roads usually indicate? Correct answer. Parking or loading rules. Why do many batteries have a plus and minus sign on them? Correct answer. To show which way they should be. Which device is most likely to use a QR code for quick access to a website or menu? Correct answer. A smartphone camera. Why do some jackets and backpacks use reflective strips? Correct answer. To make people easier to see. What is the main reason a museum might dim the lights around artwork? Correct answer. To protect sensitive material. Why do many gasoline pumps ask you to lift the nozzle before the flow starts? Correct answer. It activates the fuel Which is the best explanation for why a hot air balloon rises? Correct answer. Warm air is less dense. Why can a digital photo look blurry when enlarged too much? Correct answer. It does not have enough pixels. What is the most likely reason some old buildings have very thick walls? Correct answer. For structural support and Why do airline seats often have a small tray table? Correct answer. For eating, working, or. What is the trickiest part of translating a word-for-word joke into another language? Correct answer. The meaning and timing may. Why do some doors in public buildings have a push bar instead of a regular handle? Correct answer. They are easier to open quick. Thanks for playing. Write in the comments how many points you scored.